They say history is written not only with ink, but with blood. In the dim corridors of Castile, where the air was heavy with incense and fear, one woman's shadow loomed larger than kings and warriors combined. Her name was Isabella, Queen of Castile. The world would remember her as the saintly Catholic monarch, yet behind the gilded crown, behind the hymns of faith, lay a chamber of terror, a place where screams rose higher than prayers, and where mercy was as rare as freedom. This is the story of Isabella's Inquisition, the Iron Maiden of Castile. When Isabella was crowned, she was young, ambitious, and filled with a fiery devotion to the Church. Her heart burned with the dream of one empire united under one faith. But unity forged by fire is unity drenched in blood. The Spain she inherited was restless. Moors, Jews, and free-thinkers still lived side by side, a kingdom rich with diversity. But for Isabella, it was also a kingdom divided. She saw difference not as strength, but as a threat. Her solution was merciless. Purge them all, the Inquisition began quietly, whispers in the streets. Trials held in secret, confessions taken in the dark. But soon the darkness spread until it covered all of Castile. No home, no family, no soul was safe. The accused were dragged into chambers where priests became executioners. They were asked, "Do you deny the faith? Do you confess?" The silence of the innocent was taken as guilt, the cries of the tortured as proof. No answer could save you, for the verdict was already written. The torture chambers became the heart of Isabella's Spain. Iron chains rattled against stone walls. The rack stretched bones until they cracked. The strappado dislocated shoulders until men fainted. The Iron Maiden, its cruel spikes hidden in shadows, embraced victims not with love, but with death. And as the screams rose through the night, the church bells still rang above, as if heaven itself sanctioned the horror. But the true terror was not only the pain, it was the betrayal, neighbors denouncing neighbors, children turning against parents, brothers against brothers. Fear became the language of the land. Trust was buried deeper than any grave. And all the while, Isabella stood tall, cloaked in piety. She believed she was God's hand upon the earth. She believed she was cleansing her nation. Her lips prayed, but her hands signed death warrants. What makes this tale chilling is not just the cruelty of the instruments or the fire of the stakes. It is the silence of those who watched. Entire towns gathered to see. The condemned marched through the streets. Some spat, some cheered, some prayed, but few dared to question. Why? Because to question was to condemn yourself. The bonfires lit in the plazas did not only burn flesh, they burned doubt. They burned freedom. They burned the very soul of Spain. Yet history remembers Isabella as a queen of glory, a patron of Columbus, a woman who made Spain great. But greatness built on screams is a fragile crown. The empire she dreamed of was bought with the blood of her own people. And though centuries have passed, the echoes remain. The Iron Maiden may stand empty now. The chains may rust, the racks may gather dust. But the memory is eternal. So when we think of Isabella, the Iron Maiden of Castile, we must remember both her crown and her cruelty, both her faith and her fire. For history is never just light or dark, it is both. And in the shadows of her reign, one lesson remains clear. Power without mercy is not power at all. It is terror dressed in robes of faith. And perhaps the greatest tragedy is this: the innocent whose screams filled the chambers. Their names are forgotten, their stories erased. But Isabella's name lives on, carved in gold across history books. Let us not only remember the Queen, let us remember the silenced, for their suffering too is part of the story of Spain.